The PS4 Pro was announced last week and it seems like a fair console at a fair price. Basically a stopgap between now and whatever Sony wants to do with the PS5. All everyone could talk about was what it could do with 4K. Or what it couldn't do with 4K, or something. For starters, you ain't getting no 4K Blu-ray player with your PS Pro. So forget about it now. Don't ask for it for your birthday, don't ask for it for Christmas. Sony didn't care enough about you to include it. So you better just get it out of your head right now. But it can do games and streaming video in 4K. Should whoever possesses the key to said game or said video want to do that. And the key there is want. Videos will be fine providing your internet connection has enough data to stream all that 4K stuff. As for games, it's a bit different. It's expected the majority of game devs will just take advantage of the PS4 Pro's powerful new machinery to land somewhere in between 1080p and 4K and then just upscale the whole thing. So fake K, as I'm gonna call it. Clever that. It'll look nice, but not as nice as the real thing. But here's what matters. Most of Sony's event last week was focused on 4K. Same from Microsoft when they ranted on about Project Scorpio back at E3. The big thing with both these machines is that the graphics they're gonna pump out are gonna be so sharp, they'll literally blow your socks off. Between you and me though, I couldn't give a shit. The industry's focus on visuals is nothing new, but this obsession with making games look crisper, sharper and smoother is becoming a bizarre one. Take the Order 1886 for example. That already looks damn good, and if we really want games to look better, upping the resolution could well hamper progression. Go pick up a 1080p Blu-ray. Looks pretty awesome, right? No games look as good as 1080p Blu-rays. We're at least a couple of generations away from games getting close to films. Why not work towards that goal instead of hampering the relatively low horsepower of these consoles by making them output at hugely demanding resolutions? I understand that when there's more power to play with, graphical leaps are going to take steps that's good for everyone. Besides, the best way to sell your console to the general public is by appealing to their eyes. It's all sparkly and lovely, you want to buy one. But not everything has to be so damn focused on it, and at the moment, 4K is just a buzzword that people have decided, oh yeah, we better shove that in the machine. I mean, honestly, objectively, sure, 4K is better than 1080p, but does it actually make a blind bit of difference? Am I going to play Uncharted 4 in 4K and go, wow, this is so much better than if it was 1080p? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen, because that's not how and why a game goes from alright to super duper. It'll look sharper, sure, but it feels like the games industry is moving the goalpost before the previous target has been properly achieved. In all this hoopla, everyone seems to have forgotten that any extra oomph you can get out of the machine should be pasted across all areas so you, the player, gets a better experience on the other side. I know that games publishers and developers are focused on that too, and yeah, when you announce a new machine you want to jump on the bandwagon, but we've literally had a new console announced because it will make our games look a bit more high-res. We are well off track. Lighting, aesthetic, mood and atmosphere are all things that can significantly change what the takeaway feeling is from a game. And while it's harder to sell that in an hour-long showcase, it does seem like Microsoft and Sony especially are hell-bent on not letting technology pass them by. A focus on 1080p could have allowed for some big leaps forward in adding details to scenes. The console holders certainly shouldn't be late to the party, you know, like Nintendo and the internet, but parameters are shifting all the time just to incorporate, in this case, what is a resolution bump that requires a brand new and expensive TV. It's unlikely we'll ever see a shift as big as when we went from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, but that's because HD gaming was so new and it opened up opportunities that we never even heard of before. Hell, it was so good, the government looked at it and went, let's embrace that and make everybody get rid of their old TVs. That's massive. Over a decade on and we're now getting iterations of consoles just because the box in your living room can make them look a bit more pretty. Now, if you don't want to buy one, you shouldn't buy one. And if you do want to buy one, then you should buy one. And I really do hope it does well, but personally, it's not an avenue I care about. Now, clearly lots of people do, and that's been taken into account. But there's an old saying when it comes to things like this, and it's bad days don't last, but bad guys do. No, that's not it. Gameplay is better than graphics. It's been proven time and time again that it's actually playing a game that ultimately wins out, hence why something like Minecraft, that looks like it was made out of shitty bricks, is one of the biggest franchises in the world. I get that we can't have an event to show how gameplay is evolving, but the shift to the other side is definitely out of whack. It's become a technological race to get anywhere first, and it's not necessarily helping anything. Because once you start running, it's pretty hard to stop. And you know what that means, don't you? Nintendo were right. Again. Well, they won't embrace 4K until the sun explodes, but still. Now go and play Mario on iOS. Well, you can't yet, but when it comes out, do it and then go, oh yeah, Nintendo. Always Nintendo.